Hi, everybody. It is October the 9th, and I've been reading through Leviticus, and I read through Leviticus 14 and 15 today because it was kind of all of the same topic generally. It was all about, because we talked about things that were unclean last time. And so now it's like how to cleanse things that are unclean and the specifics in that. And I'm always amazed so many times when I look at some of the rules that God gave to the Israelites, it's really just good practices that could keep them safe and healthy. Um, and actually, as I was reading it, so much of it mirrored like the same thing that like doctors and you know just good practices for today, like during COVID. Like if somebody gets sick, uh, obviously um, clean the house, uh, set things aside for like 7 days so that the disease can get off of them. So it's like clean the person, clean the house, clean the stuff around them, set the stuff aside, leave it alone. And it's like, I thought of my mom who like, wants to leave her groceries outside for, a few days to make sure that there's no germs on them and such. And then there's a whole thing about different emissions and, of bodily fluids. And I'm just like, this just totally reminds me of like the bloodborne pathogens that I have to watch a video on every year for school as a reminder of what to do and what not to do. And I'm like, the things he was telling them before they understood about germs and the like were just good practices. And this is again when, people didn't always follow those kind of rules. And it was keeping them safe. And I'm sure some of the, we talked about the uncleanness was partially from diseases and stuff, but it's partially like a soul religious thing too. But just the practical things that they were doing that were just good practices are just kind of mind blowing. It's like a lot of what I'm reading on how to cleanse would, you could see, them saying on the news, like, oh, make sure, like, be sure to wash your hands, leave things out so that they get the germs off. And it was just kind of funny. So it's like, I keep going back to, it's like, okay, this I was sure of there would be no connections that I could find, not be sure of. I was challenging it in a sense that there wouldn't be many connections that I could necessarily find with Leviticus. And I'm kind of impressed so far. God has a message, and the message which I got a long time ago is wash your hands. We're in a pandemic, wash our hands. Things are unclean, wash them. And so that's just kind of funny um, that we can make, because it always just amazes me how wherever I am in the Bible, there's a connection. And that's because even with the Old Testament and even something like laws that I am not under because I'm under grace with Jesus, it still shows God's love to them and wanting to keep them safe. And so just love learning, and my relationship with my God is better because I'm understanding the history and where we came from a little bit better. So, you can even find good information in Leviticus.